And welcome back to the channel. This is Michael from TOEFLresources.com, and I just got back from the big TOEFL conference in Seoul, Korea that was hosted by ETS, and I have some really big news about another change to the TOEFL speaking section. This change is the introduction of the enhanced TOEFL speaking scoring, and that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. However, if you do watch all the way to the end, I'll tell you about a few other things that were announced by ETS today. So, before I tell you about the new way that your speaking responses are graded, I want to just very quickly tell you about the old way so you can compare the two. Now, in the old system, each of your speaking responses was graded by two different humans. They each gave you a score based on the speaking rubrics from 0 to 4. These scores were averaged together to give you the final score for each of your speaking responses. But that has changed. Let's talk about the enhanced scoring system. And I'm going to start just by quoting what ETS said at the conference today. Here's what they said. From August 1st, 2019, all TOEFL IBT speaking responses are rated both by a human rater and the speech rater scoring engine. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, here's what it means, and this is not a quote. It means that each of your responses is now graded by one human, remember it used to be two, and one computer program. The speech rater scoring engine is a software that can grade your speaking responses. Now, this is the same software that's been used in TOEFL Practice Online, which you get from the ETS website. Let's get back to quoting ETS, though. They said in today's meeting that human raters evaluate content, meaning, and language in a holistic manner. Now, that's what the human raters have been doing all along. So that's not a big change, but here's the change. Automated scoring by the speech rater service evaluates linguistic features in an analytic manner. You're probably thinking, what the heck does that mean? Well, thankfully, they did give us a bit more information. Here's what they told us. The human rater will give you a score for your meaning, your content, and your language use. And by language use, I believe they mean grammar and vocabulary. On the other hand, the speech rater will give you a score for pronunciation, accent, and intonation. Now, this used to be something that the human raters would check you for, but it appears this is not something the human raters are going to check you for anymore. Now, why might that be? Well, they didn't exactly say why they're making this change, but my guess would be that to have humans checking you for meaning, content, and language use, that's pretty good, right? Because that's something humans can do easily and consistently. But for pronunciation, accent, and intonation, that's pretty subjective. And so one human might judge you entirely different than another human, even just based on their life experience and whether or not they've had exposure to your accent and your way of speaking in their regular life. But again, that's just speculation on my part. Here's what we don't know. We don't know how these scores are combined. Like, it used to be that the first human rater and the second human rater, their scores had equal value. We don't know now if the human rater and the speech rater have equal value. Believe me, I asked directly to the local head of ETS, and I couldn't get an answer about that. Now, we also don't know if the rubrics have changed, like if the human raters have been given a new set of instructions about how to check your work. And while we're on the topic of things we don't know, I do need to emphasize that this was just announced like 3 hours ago. So we don't know much. And even the content in this video, it could be wrong. So I'm gonna keep looking, I'm gonna keep digging around to see what I can tell you. As I get new information, I'll put it on my website. I'll put it into new videos. I do want to mention some speculation I have. If you look at your screen really closely, you can see the speaking rubrics. And this is what they've been using since like 2006. And you'll notice that the humans in the past would judge you for delivery, language use, and topic development. And these three categories had equal value. Well, my guess would be that the humans are now going to check you for language use and topic development just as before. So they're going to have the exact same instructions for their language use and the exact same instructions for topic development. But I think that they will no longer check you for delivery, and that's going to be entirely the SpeechRater software. So if I had to speculate, I would say that the human score is worth 2/3 of your speaking score, and the SpeechRater is worth 1/3 of the speaking score. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. So I'm not gonna make any judgments, or I'm not gonna give my opinions about this right now. I think this is okay, but in the past, 2 humans would check you for topic development, and 2 humans would check you for language use. Now there's just 1. So you're not being checked as comprehensively as before. So maybe the SpeechRater is way better for checking you on delivery. That could be true. But if what they have said is true, you're simply being checked less comprehensively for language use and topic development. That's something I'm going to have to look into in more detail. Maybe in the future they'll bring back the second human. I don't know, but I'll let you know what I find out. Basically, that's all I have to say about the changes to the scoring of the speaking section, but there's a couple things that ETS also announced today. First of all, there is a new practice test available online. I say new in quotation marks because this is really just based on Quick Prep Volume 3 and Quick Prep Volume 4 with a couple of small adjustments. I'll put a link to that down in the comment section of the video. Next up, the test is now offered in the afternoon in certain test centers. I don't know where you live, but check out the ETS website and maybe you can take the test in the afternoon as well as in the morning. And from what they said today, the same test center will offer the test in the morning and the afternoon. So the test centers are kind of doubling their capacity. And I did ask, and so all you cheaters, keep in mind that they're not going to be giving the same test in the morning and in the afternoon. People who take it in the afternoon will get a different test. I asked that directly. They laughed a little bit, but they assured me it's a different test. Okay, that's all I have to say about this big conference and these big changes. But if you want to know more about what I'm doing, you can check me out at TOEFLresources.com. That's my site. You can kind of get my tutoring services there. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook. And if you come back in a couple days, I'm going to start a new video series which gives you a general overview of all the changes to the speaking, reading, and listening sections of the test. Lots of new information, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, guys, take it easy until then, and remember, I love you all very, very much. Goodbye.